Wow. Joining us now from Los Angeles to react, talk radio star Leslie Marshall. Now, that quote from the professor is off the England thing where, you know, the email showed that the British researchers on climate change were suppressing any information that didn't fit into their preconceived agenda. But I want to know what you, Leslie Marshall, in Los Angeles, California, home of the Santa Ana winds, what do you think about, are you in danger of being swept out to sea out there, or what do you think?
Oh, well, not unless you're going to come and pick me up in a beautiful sailboat, Bill. No, I don't think so. I do agree with you that we need to not have the hysteria, whether it's about health care reform or whether it's about the environment. But as you know, if you get 10 scientists, you get 11 opinions. So there are people that would say, absolutely, there's no way that we have global
Al
warming.
Gore says
and
that.
there's certainly scientists that refute
right,
that.
and he can trot those out. And then you have the other scientists who say no. But Sarah Palin writes a very, very strong op-ed and says, look, it's all baloney, it's all hooey, and it's designed to basically increase government spending, all right, and redistribute wealth all over the world, because in a conference in Copenhagen, what they're going to try to do is give money to certain countries to try to get cleaner fuel and this, that, and the other thing. But, you know, Leslie, I hate to be cynical, but I don't think that money's going to be used for that. Once you get money into some of these countries, it disappears into people's pockets. You know that. And in America...
Absolutely. In
America, and Barack Obama's going over there next week, in America, you're basically saying to business, we're going to tax you if you don't do the clean air stuff that we want. And, of course, where's that tax going to be passed on to, Leslie? Who's going to pay that tax?
We will, Bill.
Yes, we will,
Are
Leslie.
you willing?
The people will.
But are you willing, Bill? Are you willing to
Yes.
pay money to have cleaner air, to have better health?
Here's what I'm willing to do.
But your children
Leslie,
and your
here's
grandchildren.
Look, here's what I'm willing to do. I'm going to cut through all the BS. I'd like to put solar panels on my house and heat my house through the sun. I would like to do that for a reasonable amount of money. All right? I don't want to buy the oil every month. I would much rather do that. They can't do it for a reasonable amount of money, number one. And it's so complicated. And remember, I can't even hammer a nail. Okay? I can't even put gasoline in my car. It's so complicated, and it costs so much money, I can't do it. So until I can do it, Leslie, I'm going to stick with the guy who comes every month. I don't even see him. He pulls up, beep, beep, beep. He puts the thing in. It goes in. I get a bill. I put the thing on. It's hot in my house, and that's what I need. So, you know, don't tell me about my grandchildren. If they can figure out the solar panels, they can have them. But it's all bunk. It's all bull at this point for a guy like me, a simple man. Go ahead.
You think that all of the scientific evidence that shows that the emissions from carbon dioxide, specifically from burning fossil fuels, doesn't do anything negative for the
I think it does stuff negative. I do, and I don't
us?
want it to. I'm a green guy. I would much rather have a windmill in my backyard. I'm not like the Kennedys. I'll put the windmill in my backyard. If it gets me cleaner energy and it works and I know how to put it on and off. But they can't do it yet. They haven't been able to do it yet. And now they're imposing all kinds of taxes and this and that, and the folks don't want it. It's like, almost like the health care bill. Nobody understands the health care bill. You don't, Leslie. I don't. Nobody understands it. It's the same thing in global warming. Yeah, Al Gore goes, oh, it's physics. It's what? And I go, okay, Al, I want to heat by the sun. And then there's Al going, well, I can't help you. Come on, it's got to be down so that everybody understands it. This is all bull, I think.
But I don't, because you know what? Here's the problem. Like, let's look at India, right? If you don't have an industrialized nation that emits huge amounts of carbon dioxide, the emissions are just off the charts in India.
Right.
Where do those people go? Back in the fields, and you don't have jobs. You know, I do agree with capitalism to a certain degree, but at what price?
No, but
I mean,
Leslie,
can't we
you're
all
missing
be
the
happy?
point. In India, if they had the windmills that T. Boone Pickens wants, they wouldn't have to do all that dirty stuff. If the windmills worked and the energy was just as cheap as the dirty coal, they'd use the windmills, but they don't have it yet. I want it. Yes. I'm praying for it. It isn't there. Leslie, thanks very much. We appreciate it.
Are you?
Go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead. Am I what?
I was going to ask you, are you happy with and comfortable with the president promising a 17% reduction? I think that's a fair amount.
Yeah, look, am I happy with the president promising? Have I heard presidents promise stuff before? I'm skeptical. I want clean planet, but I'd like to